out. So there it is. It's gonna be Colette with Elise, Queen Janelle, or this is Emperor, guys. His name is Emperor. In that Vladimir in the mid lane, and it's going to be a high on the Lucian, and his support will be Wura on the Thresh. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of Thresh right now in the Philippines. It's starting to come back into fruition. I mean, I'm really not surprised with this, but at the same time, it's kind of a mystery to me why Philippine players, of course, in the support role, don't go for a Thresh in the pro scene. I mean, yeah, it might not be well in terms of your matchups, or it could be something that doesn't work in the meta right now, but at the same time, Thresh is just there. He is a champion that is one of the favorites of Philippine players ever since he got released, like what, season 3, season 2? And his kit is well balanced. Even, of course, you have already the relic shields that gives your ADC some form of sustain, and if you can actually keep your aggression to a minimum or control your aggression, you'll be able to use that plus potions to keep your ADC alive. Of course, you gotta have to check up the matchups, but then when it is something that you can deal with and then use a Thresh, that's gonna be good because you have yourself the hook, you have yourself the box, the flay, the dark passage. Those are like 4 skills that are just there for picking, controlling the fights, and keeping your teammates alive, as well as, well, I've said it, getting kills against your opposing team. So having Mura on a Thresh could be good here for high. I mean, if you get yourself a pretty good hook and then you just pull them in for the kill, maybe High can set up a culling ult to your face. That's going to be pretty cool to watch. So that's about it. We're just waiting for these two teams to actually break it down and just fight in the Summoner's Rift. So again, guys, game 1 in this best of 3 series. Pretty excited to see though, because I have not seen Emperor play actually, so this could be a different face of Wargods. Subbing in, it was allowed, so that's gonna be it. But here, I have known Valberts before. Actually, was able to meet him during the Sleepies for the Week episode 3. That was the one in G1 eSports Cafe at Guadalupe near the Wargods, Guada, and he was a pretty cool guy. I mean, he was in my team. We got a lot of wins, and he has a lot of insight in the game as well. Pretty cool guy. And now, when he left G-Hub Esports, he was actually picked up by Infused, and Infused, I think, got a good deal out of him. They kind of benched JRM for some internal reasons. I really can't go into that, but I've heard some stuff, though Valbers, I think, will solidify Infused right now. They still need a lot of polishing. I mean, they're not Infused that wowed all of us on the previous split of the PGS, but they're still Infused that was able to do a best of 5 against Imperium Pro Team and make it 3-2 in favor of Imperium Pro Team. But those 2 rounds, they still won. I mean, one of them, if you watch the match, IPT was just like doing some really not good bans, or some really poor, really poor pickings. But then at the same time, after that game, when Fuse win, they got like a really good feel of the game against Imperium Pro Team, and then it was already like serious picks and bans, and then IPT actually lost. So IPT, you can see there was a chink in their armor, and Infuse were able to find that and win a match against them. So we'll have to see how getting all that experience against one of the better teams in the Philippines go up against all of the other upcoming teams here in the Philippines. So, whoa, okay. So I'm playing in. I didn't know it was set to borderless. So like the map right, or the screen right, I was like spilling out. And there's a champions. Oh, Nosferatu Vladimir here for Emperor. I like that. I mean, if you guys didn't know who Nosferatu is, if I'm not mistaken, he is one of the oldest known characters as vampires in movies. He was in a black and white movie. I really can't go into that. I can't really say anything else just because I just knew that information from googling it before, but then I forgot some of the information for that. Of course, we do know the higher gun Lucian is, or I'm just talking about the skins here, guys. So don't freak out about what is this guy talking about? Is it about like the champions or just a little bit of insight on the skins? Higher gun Lucian, I think, would be Morpheus. Oh wait, fixing first. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Okay. We have a pretty beast of a PC, and there you go. Let's go into the Summoner's Rift. So again, guys, welcome. This is Game 1 in this best of 3 series between Infuzed eSports going up against Wargods.LLP Pilipinas. We are Game 1. So let's have a roll call of our teams. In the blue side, it's going to be Gertrude on the hulking behemoth of that Olaf. In the jungle, it's going to be ZXC for the Queen of the Xur side. That's the Rek'Sai. Oh, wait. Restore defaults. In the mid lane, it's gonna be Karma, played by Hechiza. Really loves to go in with that poke champion, even though she was a little bit nerfed in terms of her shields and movement speed. She's still pretty good in terms of the damage and overall utility as a champion. Now Valberts will be on our Tristana, and Akil shall be on that Alistar. In the red side, it's going to be Wargods.LLP Pilipinas. In the top lane, it's going to be Burn. On the Darius, jungle, it's going to be Colette with the Elise, the Queen of the Spires. So Queen of the Spires going up against the Queen of the Xur. Queen versus Queen. Who's going to be standing on top of that one? Queen Janelle, also known as Emperor from PO2, or that's Profilers of the Unknown, with the Vladimir. High shall be our Lucian. And of course, Vura will be on the Deep Sea Thresh. So checking out the entire map here, both junglers starting up onto the bottom side. Colette going for the Gromp, and then Krugs for ZXC. ZXC, this is his debut for me, alright? So maybe for all of us in the internet. Now for people, or online, for people who don't follow him in terms of like, are you friends with him? Like you can see, or like whatever Infuse had in mind, why they put ZXC on that support role. I mean, this is of course a tournament, so it's pretty good to actually test everything out. Even if it's group stage, it's kind of risky, but at the same time, you're like, oh, okay, we're testing something out in a much more competitive scene. Yes, tournaments are competitive, but then in like where you stream it, where you know your people are like watching you, there's kind of some sort of pressure, but then they are playing as a group. You know, they have people to stand back on, to rely on as their teammates, so we'll just see how it pans out. Valberts and Akil gonna go up against High and Wura. Top lane wise, Dario should be able to go up against Gertrude. I mean, Gertrude does have the vicious strikes. That's gonna give him some lifesteal percentages back. But at the same time, the DPS can be dealt by Burn, and then when he has his Undying Grasp, he'll be able to keep himself a little bit healthy, and when he does keep hitting his opponent, you know, get that HP back. And of course, Darius is no pushover. He's not like a Gnar who doesn't have a good amount of resistances. Plus, of course, building up your runes, understanding who your opponent are is one of the prime points here of League of Legends, and you know, stacking up armor as well as HP will be crucial going up against an Olaf. And aside from that, after the pre-game, or you know, after the preparations of the runes, you can actually think about dodging the undertows, which is one of the strong points there of a Olaf. Oh, there's Gaga in the mid lane, but here comes Colette. Janelle, or rather Emperor, using his Sanguine Pool to keep himself alive, and that'll just be a little bit of a tussle in the mid lane. Nobody dying just yet. No Summoner spells expended, but checking out the CS, Hedges are a little bit on the losing side against Janelle, 17-22. So that's a little bit gonna be a little bit bad for the mid laner here, because of course Karma, when she does get behind, I mean, her damage is easy to counter with, and of course a Vladimir here is a pretty good counter already to Hedges, because yes, even if you can connect the tether there of the Karma, that's the Focused Resolve, or Empowered Pool Focused Resolve, when he does go for the Sanguine Pool, there's still the point that a Vladimir first item builds a Spirit Visage, and then that is just a lot of magic resist, HP that he'll be able to use to soak up or to be able to resist the magic damage output that Hachizo will be dishing out. But at least for now, he is surviving. 26-32, not the baddest of the baddest there. But, oh, top lane-wise, Gertrude there. Oh, my, going on to Burn, collecting the undertow. Burn does have the upper hand here. That's his E. That'll be able, that'll allow him to push or pull in his opponents when they do go in a little bit too close on his proximity. But now they're going. Oh, he dodges with a sidestep on that Cocoon. Pretty nice, fancy footwork there from Gertrude. But he was forced to use his Ghost, so the movement speed boost onto him when he has his level 6 is not going to be up for a couple of minutes, but having a Ghost compared to the Flash is pretty good, because if you guys didn't know, there was a change on the Ghost that it's now around 3 minutes. But oh, here he comes in the mid lane. Janelle gonna go in for the Sanguine Pool, but gets knocked down by that tether, and they go in. He flashes in. Oh no, he can't go in for the damage. The Prey Seeker is almost there, but he won't be able to connect. And that Tides of Blood from Janelle coming out. Sorry, from Emperor coming out. We'll get the first blood onto ZXC. ZXC had too much blood on his eyes there. And he got blinded and didn't see the tower was free hitting him. So, not the best, but still, he can actually, maybe collect his composure first before he goes for another gank, because there is a mindset between some junglers wherein if they don't get the initial kill perfectly to start, they kind of start, lower in terms of their performance in ganking. It's just plain old what the player feels like what's happening. On the top lane though, Gertrude actually already being able to buy his items. He's taking so much damage already. Bird, oh, he dodges the undertow, and Colette with the venomous bite there. Gonna be able to finally kill Gertrude for the second time, or for his second try. That was pretty good there already by Colette. The rotations. Really nicely done by Infused. Okay, we have like some lakas ni Janelle dito. You're saying like Janelle is pretty strong, and I don't know, maybe Janelle is where Wargods is playing. I think Wargods, Liga Pilipinas do play in Wargods Guada, and that's like the home of all of the peeps of Wargods, even the ambassadors. So shoutouts there to the Wargods community. Teleport in the mid lane. That's just gonna be Hachizo returning to his lane so that he doesn't lose any CS. At the same time, Janelle does have a Ghost and Flash, and that actually attributed to, or rather, Emperor. That actually attributed to him surviving the gank of ZXC. ZXC felt that he could do this, but then at the same time, he kind of did not. Look at the point wherein, his opponent had a Ghost and Flash. Rocket Jump by Valberts, but having only a Doran's Blade won't really net you any form of kills. But in terms of the wardings, they've started to create a lot of vision out here, but it's going to be actually infused with a good amount of knowledge of where their opponents will, because of look at this vision play by them. Lots in the river, and then one in this red buff. For Wargods.Liga, it's kind of the cancer here of Wargods.Liga that they don't really have as much wardings as their opponents, but at the same time, they can match them in terms of the how they play, the mechanics, but we'll still have to see how they pan out as Infused starting off onto this dragon here. Wargods.Liga do have vision of this, but I don't think they're trying to contest. I mean, the jungler is so far away that all of this vision that Infused eSports created for themselves will net them the first dragon of the game, and that is a Mountain Drake. So this is a Mountain Drake, guys. Alright, so that was pretty good by them. But of course, Wargods.Liga still do have that 1,000 gold lead. I mean, Burn, he survived the aggression of Gertrude, but now he does have his own items, Bomby, Cinder, and Doran Shield with some boost of speed. He tries to go for the upper hand, will miss. hit and miss or pull and miss. Okay, for some reason I think my Twitch chat is delayed. Could be. Hopefully not, because I want to talk to you guys. I want to see your insights of this. Emperor there though, if you check out his itemization, Spectre's Cowl and then Boots of Swiftness. So he's really respecting the counter potential of a Rek'Sai and a Karma against him. So he's going to be trying to survive for as long as possible. Do they spot this out? So they can see the ward here. Nice pink ward there by, I believe that was ZXC. Oh, he spots him out. Actually, it's good. Gertrude going to spot them out. Two members of Wargods.LLP make that almost 4. Look at closing in onto this blue buff. Doesn't want to give it to Hechizo. There's a pretty good ward there, so Hechizo is a little bit too out of position there to actually try to get his own blue buff. So maybe try to at least stop the take of this one, not force anything, and they can see that there is a lot of members of Wargods right outside of that jungle. So they won't want to make it a bit too mahirap or difficult for themselves. But in the bottom lane, look at that, Valberts with the engage by a kill. That is what I was talking about. A kill, always looking for the engage position here, and he was able to find him out. I mean, yeah, Wargods.LLP, there was 4 people right outside of blue buff, but then at the same time, Wara was not protecting High. High is not on an Ezreal. I'm just saying this, in fact, like Ezreal is one of the safest ADRs to have. Just because if you look at it from their perspective, yeah, he has a dash. I mean, Lucian has a dash, but then at the same time, he is so... Like, his range as an ADC is like, what, 550? And then when a kill goes in for the kill, or, you know, for the pick-off, that's when it goes all to hell, because when he has his level 6, he's going to be able to tank a lot of damage and then keep his ADR in check. I mean, he'll be able to keep his ADR stacking that explosive charge, and that's pretty deadly. Oh, in the top lane though, Burn gonna be forced to flash away as there was 2 members of Infused closing in on him. Hachiza with the Empowered Spirit Flame, Inner Flame rather, almost catching off onto the Darius. But Darius knows how to, you know, he has good footwork because he's a basketball player. Noxian Basketball, or NBA, the Noxian Basketball League. How can someone not have thought of that one? Wura using his own ultimate, but he is just being closed in by the box. He's taking quite a bit of damage. There's the explosive charge. Valbert's on with the exhaust. No teleport there from Burn as it is on cooldown. And Colette was actually nearing the top lane. Oh, this could be disastrous for Gertrude. He's backing off. He does have his ultimate up, so even if Burn does hook him in, and then the follow-up by Colette is there, he just has to activate his Ragnarok, and then nothing can actually catch him off. So the composition here of Infuse, pretty good. In terms of like Gertrude, he cannot be stopped, and then he just keeps on trying to go up against Burn there. But at the same time, when they do push him out, they go for the Ref Herald, but then say here will be Infuse, trying to go in for the contest, though Hachizo is miles away, though a kill is very fast on the rotation. It could be a 3v3 here. Where's the Bloodbath? Make that a 4v3, possible 4v3, but nothing to follow. In terms of the itemizations, we do have a Zeal and DF Sword already. Oh, a kill is caught now. He's very low. He doesn't have his ultimate yet, but nobody in terms of Wargods.LLP willing to follow through the jungle just because they don't know where ZXC is. And if Gertrude does have his ultimate, or rather his teleport up, this could have been a very deadly backstab. Like if they go in here 2 people, and then he gets himself like a good teleport positioning, Ragnarok in, nothing can stop him, nothing can slow him down. That's just them putting themselves in a very sticky situation, so to speak. Here comes a gank. Oh no. He tries to go in with the Sanguine Pool. They're looking for it. Nice mindset there by Emperor to actually not use his Sanguine Pool just yet after the tether connects. Because you saw what happened there a while ago. It did still kind of fail for ZXC, but then we saw the power of the tether, the focused resolve of a Karma stop the Vladimir in their tracks. But now they spotted Wura. He gets double knocked up. He uses a flame, does have his flash away, but he's taking quite a bit of damage, puts him into the range of Valber's, but Valber's actually pushing himself or jumping over the wall to possibly caught Wura there, so that's probably some sort of miscommunication from Infuzed eSports, but at the same time, they at least get some control of this blue buff, and it's trying to be taken right now. Will Colette get that one? Oh, okay, actually uses his ultimate and survives for the meantime. ZXC trying to follow through, but has a tunnel out there, and he is just escaping with the blue. That's going to be a smile on his face, denying some sort, or the farm for Colette in the jungle, as well as keeping the pressure up against Wargods.LLP. Oh, Wura, a little bit too ballsy there. But here comes Colette. Oh, like Colette was like, I'm gonna get you. And then ZXC actually has the mindset to smite the red buff before he dies. So he keeps himself alive, but at the same time, he had to surrender his red buff, though he keeps himself alive, so Colette cannot get the double buff upgrade. Though, oh, Valberts. Oh, a kill here, though. The knockup would be gorgeous right now from a kill. Will he actually follow through? He misses the pulverize, but here comes Gertrude, here comes Hedgesall. They go in. Oh, 2-man undertow. Here comes the damage out, but Colette very low. He flashes over, but gets still caught up by High, though that is 3 for 1. That was so good from Infuzed eSports. The gank was real, and they're gonna go down. And top lane wise, Bird gonna try to get this top tier 1 as 3 members of Infused looking to get the bot tier 1 going down. And with that one instance, 23,000 balancing out against Wargods 23,000 as well. Here in the mid lane, though, we do see that Janelle actually trying to get the mid tier 1 himself, but he's a Vladimir. He doesn't have the craziest pushing damage in the world early on, or even throughout. But look at all of what Infused eSports is getting. They get the air drake, the cloud drake to be more precise, and what this does is that you see the rotations from Infused. They can really use this one. Dark Passage is there. Oh, and it won't be enough to actually net them a possible kill onto Emperor. But still, look at that. Even if Hedgesall is on the backtrack, the rotations of ZXC with the rotations of a kill, alleviating the pressure in the mid lane will actually allow Hedgesall for that opening to actually go into the bottom lane and get a catch onto Colette, High, and Wura. So that's how well right now Infused are playing. And Wargods are still trying to look for something, but then at the same time, Colette has more been of a punishing jungler than a ganking jungler. He's been ganking a lot in the top lane, not so much in the mid lane and the bottom lane. And I think Infused are already saying to themselves, okay, we see that Colette's not there in the mid lane, in the bottom lane. I feel like he's kind of afraid. He's trying to get Burn into a good spot, but at the same time, he can't because Gertrude is a little bit too slippery when he has his Ragnarok up. A kill, sidestepping the death sentence there. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So, because Gertrude is a little bit too slippery, and 4 Rift Herald. I mean, Infused can actually just give this up and, get top tier 1 and mid tier 1? But they look to actually go for the gank, and his could be a fight that we are looking for. That's a pretty good spiritual, inner flame there. But Hedgesall caught up. He tries to flash away. He'll be get taken down, and a kill. Second to follow, and that's going to be Infused, biting off more than they can chew. Not the best of decisions there from the PGS team, one of the PGS teams. Gertrude was still in mid. I think what they had to do there was, Referral's not really the best of objectives. I mean, it can give you something, but at the same time, you could have actually taken mid, 2 mids, and then, punish them for actually trying to get the Referral, and then maybe catch them off rotation. And with that, they get themselves 2 kills, 1 mid, and now a possibly uncontested Rift Herald. So that's something, guys. That's something you have to learn when you do go out against your opponents. Okay, so just gonna take something lang, guys. BRB for like 10 seconds. Ah, there we go. That's better. Just had to drink my Gatorade. I'm alive, guys. I'm solo casting, and I have to drink my Gatorade. Oh, now Janelle, for I don't know how many times he's been caught. Or sorry, Emperor has been caught, but he has been continually ganked by a kill ZXC. Though, of course, with the Spirit Visage, just because this is a Karma with the Alistar and a Rek'Sai, you have two bruisers who don't really have the best in terms of damage. I mean, Rek'Sai's building the Cinderhulk and the Giant's Belt. Answer, of course, Akil, he's not gonna get any damage with a Alistar, so that's not really something that I should be talking about. But then this is all summing up to Emperor on this mid lane, Vladimir to survive. But still, 30,300 to 30,700. It's not really the biggest of leads. It's still pretty neck and neck. In terms of itemizations, let's check it out first. For High, he's building the very popular Lucian build now, which is the Yamu's Ghostblade and the Black Cleaver, which is gold efficient, as well as allows him for a lot of mobility, of course, with the activation of those two items. The passive for the Black Cleaver, which gives you movement speed from the Phage, and then you have the active of the Yamu's Ghostblade, which gives you attack speed and movement speed, which is pretty good in terms of DPS. And of course, again, like I said, allowing you to move freely or quickly in terms of the fights, 1v1s, whatever you need to do. It's a very versatile item. As for Valberts, he's trying to stack up heavily in terms of damage. You have your Infinity Edge and Zeal. I think this deal will be, of course, being transformed into a Runaan's Hurricane. That's because that is the most popular build right now for a sieging and team fighting Tristana. Now on the top lane, this is... Okay, Emperor was spotted out. They know there's a pink ward here, so they're gonna take it out. Or, yeah. Here in the bottom lane. I don't know now who has bigger damage, but High will be able to actually fight up or be able to stand his ground against the explosive charge of Valberts. I mean, if he can hit his items with the Light Slinger, or his skills rather, with the Light Slinger, that's gonna be good amounts of damage being dealt on Tristana. Midwise, though, we do see that Emperor already finishing that Rylai's Crystal Scepter. Also, just the outside of the game point, or not actually outside of the game, more of like outside of this match. Rylai's Crystal Scepter, I think, if you guys read the patch notes right now, 6.16, there was the nerf onto the ultimate of, or not actually a nerf, maybe a balance, you could call it, on the ultimate of the Victor. What do you think, guys? Was it the Rylai's Crystal Scepter that actually made it so that Rito had to change up the Chaos Storm of Victor? Because we'll just talk about that later. Infernal Drake now being taken by Wargods. It's a little bit low in HP, but here comes Gertrude. He takes it top tier 1 and now is coming for his teammates to help him out. A kill goes in. Activates his ultimate. Oh, look at the knockup. And look at that. Gertrude in the front of the fight here. Splitting up Wargods.LLP. Valber's trying to run away. He flashes over, but the damage from King Janelle was enough to proc from the hemorrhage. But, or rather, wow, the damage from Burn there. Noxian Guillotine. That's going to be a 3 for 2. Janelle going in. Oh no. High with the double kill. They're chasing down Infused ZXC. They have the slows. And they look to give him the ace. But it's gonna be Emperor finalizing the kill there. But that looked to be a messy fight that I thought Infused had the better of, but then it kind of backfired on them when Emperor, charging up his Hemoplague, sorry, Hemorrhage was for the Darius. So much DPS for them to handle, for sure. And Gertrude, I think for one point, was chasing down somebody here. I think it was either Colette or Burn. That wasn't really the most optimal of targets. I think he should have just stayed in the fight itself. But hold that thought. Valber's charging in. Akil, oh wow, look at the damage. And they really can't do anything. I mean, Akil doesn't have his ultimate yet. So if Emperor actually tries to like turn around, he actually might even be able to win up against them. And Gertrude here looking to get something. Oh, he's actually caught up. He had to use his own ultimate there, so no Ragnarok if Wargods.LLP do try to go in for a re-engage. And after that fight, looks to be Wargods.LLP do have some control of this game for now. But again, this is the weakness I would say for Wargods.LLP. I mean, aside, the team fights, they can do well. They have good mindset in the team fights. They have good game sense, overview of what's happening. So You have to give that to them. But in terms of the wards, I'm not really a fan of this. Maybe it just expired. So, okay. As I said that, Wura starting to take, create the vision that his team needs to go in deeper onto a possible setup onto the mid-tier 2 turrets. So that's pretty good by him. So nice mindset here by Wargods. And now we just have to see where Infused are at this point. Ruinous Hurricane being completed by the Tristana so that his DPS or his AoE damage gonna be bolstered up a bit more. The bottom lane wise, TBC as well as Cleaver already finished by Burn. And oh, here comes ZXC though. They spot out Burn, but Wura gonna be able to use the Dark Passage easy out there for the top laner of Wargods.LLP. On the top lane, Colette actually bothering Gertrude for the meantime, so he won't be able to do anything. Zixi looking to force something out of this one, but this is 3 members of Wargods.LLP. Here they come in. Will ZXC actually survive? Yes, he does. That's a 3-man Hemo Plague. Here comes High. The damage is just a bit too much for them. Akil has the unbreakable will, but his will has been broken there in the top lane. Gertrude using his own ultimate, but he cannot chase down Colette. He's going for a second, third Undertow, but his ultimate does go off cooldown, and he does have to fear the Cocoon under tier 2 turret, so he has to just back away from that one. And Infused, a little bit of on the backside here, has to respect the damage and the pressure that Wargods.LLP are putting on. And this is looking to be a very good start for Wargods, already in a 4,000 gold lead, and looking to have that Baron in their arsenal to use for the possible next pushes. I mean, Infused had vision of this. They know what's happening right now, but they don't have enough manpower, as well as, well, I don't know if they have the team damage output to actually go up against Wargods then. But at the same time, they weren't in the vicinity to actually contest for it. So Baron for 5 members of Wargods.LLP here. They can Infuse eSports too. Valverse is not on a sweet spot to actually free hit anybody right now, because look at this. Burn has stacking up to 3,000, 2,500 for Colette. Emperor's like 3,500. High is on the low ground, but then doesn't really have to, because his teammates, they have so much AoE damage, these 2 players already, that like High is the least of their worries. Definitely the least of their worries there. So now they're gonna get this one easy peasy, living crazy, and the push for Wargods keeps on continuing in the bottom lane. Akil is here to actually provide some support for his turret with the help of ZXC. Flanking is a possibility for Gertrude there, but the next ward that actually can go up around that's closest to his bottom one is this one. Or if he's fast enough, maybe this one. But he's already gone to the mid lane to clear out some waves. ZXC doing the same thing. And Burn, actually look at this. Even right now, he's starting to catch up onto Gertrude's CS. And I think the longer this game does continue, I feel that the Darius would be better. So almost ghosted being used. Oh, the hook actually almost connects onto Hetzi's there. Burn using his teleport. Now they're here. 5 members are here now. But Gertrude in the top lane can actually still use that teleport of his. He's stacking up as much items as possible so that he will be able to be a frontliner here for Infused. You still have to respect the possible engage potential here of Wargods.LLP. They go in. Hashes a little bit too caught out, but Valbirds, oh no, this is disastrous for Infused. Hedgehog's gone down already. That's the mid laner. No more pork for you, or poke for you rather. Akil, he has his ultimate, but no, there was too much damage there by Wargods.LLP, and the Undertow is actually saving Valbirds for the chase there, from the chase of Emperor. Gert is going in, he gets hooked, and he doesn't have a Ragnarok anymore. He's trying to survive under his own turret, but no, the burn is just too real. That's gonna be the Darius going in a little bit too wild, almost gets even another follow-up Noxian Guillotine, and he goes in with the Blood Rage. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be Wargods.LLP getting game 1 in this best of 3 series against Infuzed eSports. It looks to have been them and Infuzed. Actually, Infuzed looks to have been stronger in the early game, but Wargods.LLP in that fight. Okay, so when this is victory in this fight here for Rift Herald, I think that's the one time or that turn time for Wargods to actually get the momentum of the game, and now they got like a 11,000 gold lead. The Vladimir was a real difficulty there for them to go up against, definitely. And then Burn just followed through when Vladimir was able to pin his targets down with the Rylai's and the Proto Belt. Burn had enough slows, or Burn was able. His team allowed for enough slows that Burn can actually just go in with the help of High as well, and then just do all the DPS that they had to, and they just wreck Infused eSports. Problem there for Infused was, I think it was also on the Rift Herald, plus the point that they were actually forcing too much onto Janelle, or sorry, to Emperor. I think they could have forced something more into the bottom lane, which is where they showed the most amount of success in terms of their ganks. So for Infused, it could be that they needed more rotations in the bottom lane rather than the mid lane, because we saw them try to get the Vladimir. But of course, the mindset there is Vladimir, when it comes into that mid game to late game, his AOE is a little bit too crazy. So that's what's some of what happened. So check out the damage output. Look at that. High and Emperor almost the same. Like run what? Like I'm calculating right now. Like 18 damage. So that's it. Wargods.LLP winning game 1. So congratulations to Wargods.LLP. But of course, this is a best of 3 series. Hindi pa tayo tapos. We are not done yet, guys. We're still about to witness game 2 later on. So we'll be taking just a short break. I think we're going to be back around 7:15. It's around 7:09 right now. So let these players take a breather. Let them get their composures back, especially for Infused. They look a little bit shaky after those 2 clashes. One was on the Rift Herald, which was a very big momentum boost for Wargods, and then one was also on the 3rd Dragon. That was the Infernal Drake, and then Emperor on the Vladimir had such a good Hemo Plague that Infused did not have any amount of damage to dealt, because they were so much afraid of the Hemo Plague stacks being dealt upon them. So yeah, we'll just go back after a short break. Alright guys, so again, this is the Mineski Pro Gaming League.